I guess the reason for sharing my birth story is because I always love to hear, inspiring stories, and it's so much, better when we can hear more positive, uplifting birth stories. Hey beautiful mama, welcome to Mom for Every Season. If you are brand new, my name is Taryn and I'm so glad you are here. In today's video, I'm just going to be sharing with you my birth story from my first child and how I was induced and had a natural labor. And of course, if you're brand new, I would love for you to stick around and join this little community we're creating. I post videos on motherhood and mindset, parenting tips, budgeting tips, and really anything to help you get out of the overwhelm and live a life of ease and from your heart center. So make sure to hit that red subscribe button and that little bell notification to get notified when I upload a new video. I upload videos every Tuesday, and I'm also adding a Friday as well, more of a financial Friday, and I'll keep Tuesday to my current content about motherhood. Okay, and I'm really excited because I'm finally collaborating with Yana over at The Productive Mummy, and make sure you check out her video as well after you're done with mine. Her info will be in the description box down below. And she also had an induction with her second, and she had it for different reasons, so you can go check out her video after. And I just love her channel. It is full of tons of info and valuable content. She of course has stuff on productivity and organization and cleaning, and she is also a work at home mom, so she has tons of videos on that as well if you are a work at home mom as well. So make sure you check her out. I love her channel, and I also love following her on Instagram too, so I can put all of her info down below. Okay, so I guess the reason for sharing my birth story is because I always love to hear, inspiring stories, and it's so much, better when we can hear more positive, uplifting birth stories. Because, with society and media, there's like always tons of, negativity and just even a negative mindset towards birth and labor. And I think the more positive content we can share and help uplift each other, the better. So with my first, she is almost 7 now. So this was 7 years ago. But it's funny enough, I think I remember more from her birth and delivery than I do from my seconds. My son is almost 3. And I feel like even my third pregnancy and labor and delivery was like a complete blur. But so with my first, of course, I researched and, delved into a whole bunch of different things when I was pregnant. I did post recently a hypnobirthing video. If that's something that interests you, I can put an info card right here or here. I can't remember which side it's going to be on. But I just really, I probably overthought stuff and over-researched because I was a first-time mom, and, I wanted it to go perfectly. I did probably too much. I did all the pelvic core exercises and hypnobirthing, and really I just researched a ton because I wanted to have a natural labor, and I didn't, want to be induced. There was tons of stuff. I had this birth plan that I put into, and at the end of the day, your body knows how to birth your baby and it knows what it's doing. So if anything I could say is just trust the process. I say this a lot, but trust the process, and just, trust yourself, because if you tune into your intuition, tune into your body, into your instincts, you're just going to know what to do, and it'll help you feel more relaxed in your labor. But back to the birth story. So I actually was 3 centimeters dilated at every checkup that I went to for the, 4 weeks, it could have been even 5 weeks leading up to my delivery. And so every time I'd go in for a doctor's appointment, they would check me, and I'd be like, oh, I think maybe I started at 2, and then I went up to 3, and I was like, okay, any day now. And my birthday is in April, at the end of April, and she was due May 8th. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll have an April baby, and she'll be, just like me. And so, of course, April went and passed, and Then her due date came and passed, and she ended up deciding to be 2 weeks late, where the doctors were like, okay, we have to like induce you. And I think instantly I was kind of like terrified, because I had heard, of course you hear of things, if you have to have Pitocin, and when you're induced, you have to have like all these extra drugs. And I really just wanted to have a natural, calm, positive labor. So when I found out I was going to be induced, I was like, okay, just one more day. Give me one more day, and I'll try and I tried everything to induce labor. You know what I mean? Like, I went for like long walks. I did exercise classes. Like, I did the raspberry leaf tea, and nothing worked. Like, it just, she was comfy in there. She didn't want to do, she didn't want to come. I think then I had to do the ultrasound when you're late. I think I was like 41 weeks or something like that, and everything seemed okay. They did want me to go in and get checked. I think my blood pressure was high at that point, so they were kind of concerned about that. So we went to the hospital that evening, and I could have been induced then. They would have induced me, but I refused. I did not want to be induced, and everything panned out that evening, so we went home. But I did have to book my induction. So we actually chose May 17th as kind of an important day for us, because it's actually me and my husband's dating anniversary. It was a Thursday, and the doctor we liked from our clinic was in. So we were just like, okay, we're just going to do May 17th. And so we went in that morning. I think I stressed the night before, but I just really tried to calm myself and trust the process. And we went in, that morning. I had to be there at 7, but the doctor didn't come and induce me until I think it was 10 o'clock. So waiting for 3 hours in this triage room, and stressing about really nothing, because it all worked out. And so they decided to break my water, and I was given kind of an hour, 2-hour timeline. If my labor didn't kickstart by then I would have to be put on more drugs. But luckily, they broke my water, and funny enough, they actually couldn't tell my water broke. She went to break it, but no fluid came out. So then they're like, okay, well, we'll put the heart monitor on the top of your baby's head, because then we'll know for sure that it's been broken if the heart monitor is on her. And I was kind of against this, because I wanted to be able to move around. So that was my main concern. If I'm going to be stuck in a bed, I'm not I didn't think I would labor well if I would be stuck in a bed. So I wanted to be able to move around. So they reassured me. They gave me the mobile little, so I had this little pack that I had to carry around with our heart monitor on. And it did kind of stress out my daughter a little bit when they first did it, but then it was all good. So I just had basically a cord hanging out and this little heart monitor pack that I had to carry around. So I think they put it they hung it on an IV pole. So if I wanted to move around, I could just bring this little IV pole, which was kind of annoying a little bit. I remember when I first started to try and I walked the halls. They said, just go walk the halls to try and induce your labor. And within the hour, it came on pretty fast and pretty intense. I went from 0 to it felt like an 8 out of 10 pain. It was quite intense feeling. And again, I really use hypnobirthing techniques. I really concentrated on my breathing. And then again, I went into labor thinking I wanted all these things and had this birth plan. And it kind of all got thrown out the window, because the fact that I wanted to be able to move didn't matter. I just wanted to lean on the edge of the bed. I wanted nothing to do with moving around, because I couldn't concentrate on my breathing and I couldn't concentrate on my breath and my body. So I just wanted to lean over the bed. And I thought I would really enjoy going in the shower, having a bath, and I didn't really like that either. So just, again, if you're going to go into labor and delivery, just having an open mind that even the things that you think you want, you may not want. And then a couple hours after my labor had started, my mom came to visit, and I just remember her standing I was leaning over the bed, and I remember her standing on the other side, looking concerned, and I pretty much had to shoo her away. I was like, okay, can you just go sit down, because I needed to concentrate on my breath and my body, and it was very distracting having someone watch over me. So I made her go in the corner with my husband, and the two of them, like, I feel bad about this now, but they pretty much sat there the whole time. The only thing my husband did the whole, up until delivery was he would just get me a cold cloth or ice chips. And for the rest of that time, I was pretty much in my own zone. No one could talk, no one could distract me. And even the nurses kind of knew, like, okay, we're not going to bug you. And she eventually came back around 3 o'clock that 3 o'clock that afternoon just to come check me. I didn't actually want to be checked for the rest of the time, just because I didn't want to know what I was dilated at, because I thought it would just add to more anxiety if I was, I'd been laboring for so many hours and then nothing came out of it. So I told them at the beginning, like, don't tell me what I'm dilated at unless I'm like, whatever, 8 and above. So she came to check me, and I thought when she told me how much I was dilated at, I was like mad, because I didn't want to know, and I thought she said like 5 or something, or 4 or 5, and I didn't hear her, but I was actually dilated at 8. So they finally moved me to the delivery side, or I was kind of in the triage area up to that point, but then they moved me to a different room to deliver. And yeah, the labor and delivery for the whole thing was pretty uneventful. It was just, a natural labor. I pushed for about an hour with her. I think by 5 o'clock I was 10 centimeters dilated. So I had my husband and my mom in the room with me. My mom, I made her sit up here because I didn't really want her down there. I really wish we had taken a birth video, but I didn't, at that time, it wasn't even really a big thing to, do birth vlogs, I don't think. And I didn't have a YouTube channel at that point. Oh gosh, I'm really stuffed up and I don't normally sound like this. I pushed for about an hour and I had her, and of course all that like oxytocin came in and like felt amazing. But yeah, there was no complications. I, had a natural labor, and I didn't need to have an epidural or anything like that. And I didn't need to have any Pitocin to induce any more labor. My body started on its own. She didn't really like latch on very well. So I did struggle with breastfeeding with her a little bit, and then we found out she had a tongue tie. So from them breaking my water to the time that I had her was about 7 or 8 hours. Once they broke my water, it was pretty intense. So I just really tuned into the contraction and took that contraction once at a time. I really wish I had a birth vlog or video footage. We didn't really take video. It wasn't, a super popular thing back then. I mean, I say back then, but it's only 7 years ago. And I didn't have a YouTube channel, so I wish I had some footage from her birth and delivery. Again, it's just pretty uneventful and calm. I just remember having such a calm and positive experience with my birth and delivery. I had amazing nurses who, kind of just knew what I needed, and also an amazing doctor. So I have like no bad experiences with my first labor and delivery. I hope this video has helped you, and again, make sure to check out Yana's video linked in the description box down below, and subscribe to her channel as well. So, and I always end my videos with, in case you haven't heard this today, you are amazing and you got this, mama. So that's it for now. Bye for now.